deficit still rising, much rests on the president's budget term. But he's also facing congressional.
Democrats were last in power 10 years ago. Clinton left $200 billion surplus. So is he justified in blaming the Republicans for all this?
He's justified on some level in that there was a large tax cut at the last time that we had a recession in the United States, which was in 2001, and there was also a big giveaway in terms of prescription drugs. So that's definitely part of it. But a very large part of the deficit going forward is as a result of the large drop in taxes and the increase in automatic stabilizers.
Okay, the drop in taxes, and once those tax cuts that George Bush had introduced for higher earners, once they are expired, will that help Obama in the time frame to balance the books?
It will help, but in the future it will help, but it won't help over the near term. The real question you have to ask yourself is, why does he actually want to reduce the deficit, especially to the degree that you're concerned about the near-term economy? Because obviously decreasing spending or increasing taxes, which is the only way that you're going to get the deficit to go down, is going to be negative for the economy. It's actually going to decrease demand, and it's going to decrease jobs. So he has a bit of a tightrope to walk here, because, yes, on the one hand, he wants to say, yes, I'm looking at the long term in terms of deficit reduction, but on the other hand, he has the problem with the economy, which is definitely going to be a problem come November 2010.
So can he cut back spending without affecting his pet policies like healthcare reform and climate change, for instance?
It really depends on Congress. He's very constrained at this point now. I think it was a big mistake for him to focus on deficit reduction in such a great way at this particular juncture. The economy is still very weak. For him to say that we really need to focus on deficit reduction plays right into the hands of his opponent, saying that we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, and as a result, you know, he's going to be very constrained in terms of what he actually can do in order to, over the near term, boost the economy. But
with his, and we talked about the inheritance he had from George Bush, but he is spending billions and billions, isn't he, through his stimulus programs and on the trying to revive the economy. So is that going to really make matters much worse for him in trying to cut the deficit?
Well, a lot of the stimulus is short-term. That means it'll go away. It's a one-time, a one-off. The reality for the budget crisis, as people try to call it, for the United States, has to do with the large automatic spending that goes into military spending, into health care, that is Medicare and Medicaid, and into Social Security. By far, those are the largest parts of the budget, and those are not being touched. Those are not being addressed. The budget deficit at all. You know, what he's doing, which is $250 billion over 10 years, doesn't even come close to addressing those issues.
All right, Edward Harrison, thanks very much indeed for all that analysis. Now, in other news making the headlines, a woman wearing a vest filled with explosives has blown herself up in Baghdad, killing